Minister of Foreign Migration and Egyptian Expatriates Affairs Badr Abdulati takes part on Friday in an extraordinary meeting of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation in Jeddah on drumming up support for the Palestinian people against continued Israeli aggression. Abdulati has earlier participated in a Gulf Cooperation Council ministerial meeting where he affirmed that Arabs are holding to the Palestinian legitimate rights, stressing the necessity of repelling any attempts aiming to displace the Palestinians from their territory. The details.
The Muslim world will be asked to throw its weight behind the Arab counterplan to the US President Donald Trump's widely condemned proposal to take over the war-torn Gaza at an emergency meeting on Friday. With the participation of Minister of Foreign Affairs and Migration Badr Abdulati, foreign ministers from the 57-member Organization for the Islamic Cooperation will meet at the headquarters in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, 3 days after the Arab League endorsed the Egyptian alternative plan for Gaza. At Tuesday's summit in Cairo, the Arab leaders backed the proposal to rebuild the Gaza Strip under the future administration of the Palestinian Authority. However, the plan, which does not outline a role for Hamas, which controls Gaza, was rejected by both the United States and the Israeli Occupation Authority. The summit also announced the establishment of a trust fund to pay for the Gaza reconstruction and urged the international community to back it. Trump triggered the global outrage by suggesting his country take over the Gaza Strip and turn it into what he called a Riviera of the Middle East, while forcing the Palestinian inhabitants to relocate to Egypt or Jordan. The Egyptian top diplomat Abdulati said his country, a mediator in the Gaza ceasefire talks, would seek the OIC support to make the counter-proposal both an Arab plan and an Islamic plan. Endorsement by the OIC would, at the very least, signify a unified opposition to Trump's proposal.
Minister of Foreign Migration and Egyptian Expatriate Affairs Badr Abdulati and U.S. Special Envoy to the Middle East Steve Witkoff reviewed on Friday an Arab plan for early recovery and reconstruction in the Gaza Strip over the phone. Egypt's top diplomat pointed out that the plan had a full Arab consensus during a Cairo-hosted Arab summit, saying that he is looking forward to a continued contact with U.S. President Donald Trump to showcase the features of the reconstruction plan. He stressed the necessity of joint efforts for the implementation of the phased-in Gaza ceasefire agreement, while allowing the continued access of humanitarian aid into the war-torn strip. Egypt kept open the Rafah border crossing to help facilitate the passage of humanitarian aid trucks to the Gaza Strip. Dozens of humanitarian and relief aid trucks are still awaiting access to the war-torn strip since last Sunday, when the Israeli occupation banned the delivery of aid via the Palestinian side of the border outlet, in violation of a ceasefire agreement, according to which larger amounts of urgently needed aid was supposed to be provided to Palestinians in the war-torn strip.
Egypt's stock market indices rose during last week's sessions, gaining £15.3 billion. The market's capital for the companies listed in the stock market reached £2,283 trillion, gaining 0.7%. The Bourse's weekly report showed that the benchmark EGX 30 index increased by 1.1% to reach 30,947. Meanwhile, the medium-capped index, the EGX 70, lost 1% to 8,549, and the broader EGX 100 was down by 0.36% to close at 11,867 points.